Hello, good afternoon, and welcome to another edition of What's Up, your Borger Weekly Fantasy Football Roundup. This week I am, you guessed it, covering for Tylor Mcgallagher. Well, it's me, Tylor Mcgallagher. I'm back in the picture, and we're doing a little roundup for you, alright? First up, we had the Wizards of Loneliness at the Gasps. Jesus Christ, Wizards really popped that out there on top with the Mike Evans, Amon St. Brown, whatever that guy's, Amon St. Ra, Amon Ra St. Brown, boom. That's him. Yeah, that and the Gasp, what did they get? Not just barely over 100 points. Next up, we had Linguini with Muscles versus the Chase is On. That was a big match. That was a good one. I was looking forward to that. Turns out Linguini with Muscles, not a very good showing, okay? I think we had Zach Moss over on your team with like .30. I don't know how we feel about that on the whole. You had Lockett and, Jamar Chase going off. The Chase is on another big week. Rebounds after his streak was broke last week. Next up, we had Game Plan McMahon versus Ayahuasca Healing. This son of a bitch, Ayahuasca Healing, is managing to squeak out all these wins. I don't know. He comes through yet again. Big performances that day from Herbert. He had 39 over there for the win. And you know what? Taysom Hill over there game plan. He looked like he wasn't too big of a guy for you this time. So next up, we had American Gucci versus the New York Football Gordons. And let me tell you, this one came down to the damn wire. This was the one everybody was talking about the next day over at the work refrigerator. It came down to Gabe Davis on Monday night. Squeaked out a win by 1.6, this American Gucci. You had 47 points by Dak. Couldn't get it done, Dak. I'm sorry. Maybe next time get 49 points. Something like that. Brian Robinson, good job over there for Gooch. Next up, we had W.F.F.T. versus the Birds of War. Man, this one had some nasty feelings all over it. These guys were butting heads about trades, falling asleep, and Maine was going crazy at the deadline. These guys were right in the middle of it, and you couldn't help but think that this one felt a little personal, maybe. Anyway, we had Keenan Allen over there, 35 points. Goff over there, Goff and Montgomery, they were good. But no dice over there. Keenan Allen, high of the day. Birds of War take this one. Next up, we had Taints and Jemima. Unbelievable. The CD Lamb, he can't be fucking stopped. The Taints, who's stopping the Taints right now? It's an issue. It's something we all got to think about. Now one CD Lamb erupted, unstoppable. Just not good. Jemima, best of luck next time, bud.
Week 10 Rundown. The Woo Award goes to Wizards of Loneliness with 162 points. The Oof Award goes to Linguini with Muscles with a differential of 77.78 points. You got robbed. Game Plan McMahon puts up 138.84 points and loses. Our Laugher of the Week. Wizards of Loneliness over Gasps by 62.28. Our Nail Biter of the Week, American Gucci over New York Football Gordons by 1.6 points.
Welcome to Tyler's bonus stats. as read to you by Tylor Mcgallagher. This was a high-scoring week for the league. 3 losers scored over 125 points. The top 4 teams in Cheese South are separated by less than 100 points. The divisions are tightening up. The 3 playoff teams in Pickle East are separated by 1 game, while in Cheese South, the 3 playoff teams all have the same record. The matchup of the week, the Taints vs. Jemima Kirk Cousins. Interdivisional matchup with a lot on the line. Can Jemima bounce back after losing Kirk and subsequently the nail-biter of the week?
Mr. Wayne Steele, the Wayne's Fantasy Football Team, W.F.F.T. Nice to see you today, and thanks for stopping by.
Thanks for having me. Really happy to be here. Glad to do this. It's going to be so much fun.
Hell yeah, I definitely agree, bud. All right, so listen, I got you here for a few today, so I want to throw some questions at you. First of which being, how do you feel about your team this weekend? Just being a bunch of fuck-ups and probably just going to lose over there to American Gucci.
Fuck you.
Okay.
Fuck you.
Mr. Steele, this has been your first full year of title defenses. You are the current reigning champ of Borger. How's it been for you? What's the state of the union over there at W.F.F.T, and how do you feel about things?
Boys to win out, make a run, grab that 3rd playoff spot and pickle, ride it to the end, bring home the hardware. Fuck you. Fuck your mother. W.F.F.T. all the way, baby.
That's spicy, man. You've always been a fiery manager, and I guess we shouldn't expect anything less. But wow, a run, too. I mean, you're pretty deep in pickle, I guess, but I think, you know, that 3rd playoff spot at very least, maybe up for grabs.
I think so for sure. Gasps look like they're slipping. I mean, they're just not the gasps they were last year.
Oh, that's certainly not.
Not that I should be one to talk, but I mean, I think that 3rd spot in pickle's up for grabs. Listen, man, I had the points to beat Birds of War on the bench on this week. So it's like, even though there does seem to be a disparity in some of the points scored on a week-to-week basis, but really it's anyone's game any week. So
yeah, I mean, pickle certainly is a lot more up for grabs, I guess. It would seem than cheese, but you know, I mean, hey,
clusterfuck down there in cheese. It's a clusterfuck, man.
Let me ask you this though: you've been injury plagued this whole season. You know, it started out with Chubb. That was your guy. You love Chubb. But also, I mean, you've just had a series of injuries, Mostert, a few things going on have kind of led you to, maybe some underwhelming performances. But simultaneously, you really haven't made too many waiver moves. I believe 12 was what we came up with earlier, and I'm surprised. You know, it's definitely lower on the spectrum.
Yeah, well, I was that was all by design, you know, kind of try to build out a squad that was deep, had players that could deliver, you know, consistent above average performance, like up and down the line. And unfortunately, the injuries that I had, I couldn't have planned for. I mean, Chubb, the whole season, I mean, that was devastating. Cooper Kupp on the IR for 5 weeks. Montgomery with I'm thinking probably like a fractured ribs. They're not saying that, but probably. Mostert going down. You know, we built the team that way so that it was specifically deep. But the thing is now, one thing I noticed is I just saw this morning. There've been 3 times where I've scored 135 points and lost, and I look at some of these teams, especially those cheese teams. I mean, they're putting up 140 like as like a regular thing, and I'm just like, well, maybe there's a flaw in the way that I built my team, because I was shooting. I was thinking if I can get into like the low 130s, that I would be able to make a run. I kind of built the team specifically for that goal, but I don't think that's going to work anymore. At least not in this league.
But I think we're actually coming off of our highest scoring week as a league to date. I think there were 3 teams out there scored over 130 points who actually lost this week. So
yeah, I was one of them, man.
Yeah,
it's fucked.
It's fucked. It's fucked. It's fucked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's fucked.
Talking sausage over here. Ready?
Sausage.
Sweet or hot?
Hot.
Thank you, sir. That's all I needed. So, what are you thinking about in terms of, the value that you gained with over there with Pickens and Gibbs and that trade in general? So, defend
that trade for me was all about locking in Gibbs. Gibbs gives me an overall like +5 per week to my team, even with the loss of Burrow and Lockett. So just because of positions and the way that the depth chart is. So plus I get a pick. So I was happy. I was happy to send. Burrow's been underperforming all season. He's gotten it together lately, and that's cool and everything. But overall, he just wasn't contributing at the level that I hoped he would earlier and consistently throughout the season. And plus, quarterbacks, honestly, like I don't need 28 points from a quarterback. I don't need 30 points from a quarterback. I'm looking to get like 20, 22, maybe 25 points from a quarterback. And I wanted to be fair to the other team also. He needed a QB, and I wanted some more points from running back, and I wanted a draft pick, so it just worked out perfectly.
All right. Well, I think that was pretty well defended. Thank you, Mr. Steele, on that one. That being said, let's get into our last question. All right. So listen, this question over here, Maine. It involves Maine. All right. We know what's going on. We've seen what's going on. Some of it's ugly. Some of it's really funny. Some of it is tough. It's really tough out there. But my question to you is, it is getting a little hot in there, right? I think you would have to agree. So a lot of intimidation videos, smack talk. So, one, do you appreciate that kind of atmosphere? And 2, do you sense any good rivalries coming from this? Like, is there a matchup that you're like, oh shit, man, these guys have really had some battles. I really like to see where they take this into the future.
I love it on Maine. Love it. I think we can even step it up a little bit too.
You're saying step it up.
Yeah, I think we could step it up a little bit. Yeah. I love it though. I think it's sort of thing I kind of started slow and it's starting to really blossom now. So it's also a way to get creative, with how you do it, and so I support it, and I hope to see more people get involved with it every week. Probably more so. Honestly, I feel like there's been a couple of weeks where there's probably been like 500 messages. So like just keeping up with it is tough. So sometimes I know I go through like stretches where like I might miss like a day, and there's like 400 messages that I missed, and it's like, oh, I just gotta cut my losses and move on. So
well, listen,
but it's good. It's really active. I think
fair.
keeping the engagement high is like really important. So I think
I have similar stuff with that. It's it's safe to say it's probably on mute for the working week and things we got to do. And when you kind of come back to it and sometimes see a lot of spice. And all right, Wayne, this is a new one. We did it last week with Jay. We're gonna rock it real quick with you. All right, we're gonna try to get these in under a minute. Of course, this is not officially timed because I haven't figured out how to get that device on the tapas or pasta.
Tapas.
Ask permission or beg forgiveness.
Beg forgiveness.
How many redheads are you friends with?
5.
Climb a mountain or jump from a plane?
Climb a mountain.
How long can you hold your breath for?
About 20 seconds.
Have you ever seen a kangaroo in person?
Yes.
What type of milk do you put in your cereal?
Hold.
Are dogs people?
No.
Wayne, thanks so much for doing this lightning round, man. I had a lot of fun with you here today, and thanks again, bud. We'll see you next time.
Thanks a lot. Thanks for having me. Have a good night.
You too.